Hey, what's going on, peoples? I am IB Hip Gregory, and I want to talk about this proposed ban on TikTok. I don't know where y'all stand on this, but me myself, I am against it. And this is coming from someone who doesn't even use the app. And some people, they might hate China that much, and there's plenty of reasons to dislike China. I mean, they're basically enslaving people to make products, certain products. Look how much stuff is made in China. We definitely need to make more stuff in this country. We need more independence in that aspect. COVID started in China. Look how they treated Africans during the pandemic. And most of the fentanyl comes from China. So, but when dealing with the app, the complaints about it, to me, it seemed like it applies to all social media platforms. People say, well, it rewards people for acting silly. Yeah, that sounds like all other platforms, Instagram. Like they say, well, the algorithms could get you caught up in a loop and you be caught up in a bubble. That sounds like Twitter. And then in the privacy concern, they don't want all private information being sold into China to a foreign nation. And I get that. That is a legitimate concern. But there's been no evidence of any type of chicane, any type of business of selling people's private information. But that has been proven to be true by both Google and Meta. They're selling all private information. So, and if this is really about that, then why not just pass a law to make it illegal for social media platforms to sell people's private information? But they don't want to do that, right? Because they can't, if they do that, that would apply to all the platforms and not just TikTok alone. See, America, out of the modernized countries in the world, has some of the weakest privacy and protection laws. Yeah. So if you, so this is about privacy. It just seems like that is this is about privacy. So you want to ban it? Like there's nothing in between. And there's the Texas project that is ran by an American company whose job is their job is to prevent China from getting any personal information on people. That is their job to watch that. And this is approved by TikTok. And the politicians still said no. So is this really a privacy issue? And some people still, you know what, I don't care. I want to ban it because, both Google and Meta is banned in China, right? So, but when that was done, they called them a authoritarian government and saying that's a free speech, issue. So now you want to do the same thing. And I get it, there are two versions. There's a China version and United States version, or maybe three because they have one for kids and for adults. And there is problems like there's a poll when asked kids in the United States what's the number one thing they want to be when they grow up, and the number one answer was social influencer, and the number one answer in China is astronauts. So why not recognize a good idea when you see one and have a platform or make a platform that rewards people and is based more on education and even limits people's kids' login time, boosts them out after a certain amount of time like they do in China. But that's not even proposed, you know. What are you really doing to better the situation? Because it's not the platform that's evil, it's the way you use it. Because there's a lot of dumb stuff on TikTok, right? But there be people on there who be dropping science, they be dropping facts. I saw a post one time that said you learn more about Black history on social media platforms than you do in schools, which I think is true. It's depending on where you live, especially if you live in Florida. They just stopped AP African American Studies being taught in them schools. Advanced Placement African American Studies, which unlike any other African American studies in the United States, they taught about before slavery. They taught about us in Africa. And that was deemed inappropriate by Ron DeSantis. That guy, I knew it when he was talking, they were talking all that CRT stuff. That was the real reason they passed legislation about CRT, and the laws didn't even mention the letter CRT in it because that was their plan all along, is to oppress and to stop, teaching of Black history in school, as proven to be. So, and I can't help but to look what happened in Russia when the war in Ukraine broke out. Russia banned Instagram, and because they didn't want any anti-war rhetoric to get to these people, and they can't control what's being said on Instagram, so they banned it. All the people who made their livelihood on Instagram, they that changed in a day, right? They suppressed the speeches. That's what happened in here. Perhaps. I mean, there are 150 million Americans on TikTok, and there are 5 million businesses. And I mean, we need all the revenue streams we can get right now. The Federal Reserve is raising interest rates to increase unemployment. They say they're doing that to lower inflation, but that has never worked in the past. I mean, that is mind-boggling to me that there is a part of this government who is actively trying to increase the unemployment rate. I mean, you gotta be careful. And look, who who would gain the most if TikTok is banned? You know, Meta that owns Facebook and owns Instagram, and Google that owns YouTube. And they're having a heck of a time trying to compete with TikTok. TikTok is busting that ass right now. That's why they got the YouTube Shorts and the Facebook Reels. They're trying to compete with TikTok. And I thought they love capitalism. This sounds like good old capitalism to me. Just healthy competition, which ends up giving the consumers a better product, but not so much that it turns out. Yeah. So and they say TikTok is rivaling Google in search engines. Like people are going on TikTok and looking stuff up. And it's a form of communication. You can get your word out there. There's this thing with Carvana. Yeah, Carvana that they're selling people cars and the cars all turn out to be stolen. And now you gotta explain to the police that you got your car off of Carvana and you didn't steal it, which could be extremely dangerous, especially for black folks. That story has been ignored by the mainstream media. That story was broke on TikTok. And already it seems like my fears are being validated because the bill to ban TikTok is called the Restrict Act. And the language is so vague in that bill that the words TikTok is not even mentioned in the bill, right? They could surveil and prohibit any transaction between any U.S. persons and a foreign nation. And if they suspect you of this is not done through the courts, it's the government. So if they suspect you for anything, for no reason at all, they could pull up your VPNs, pull up your phone, and check any type of login, transaction, or search. So the response, I thought this was about, saving people's privacy. But your response is to take away more privacy from people. After 9/11, they passed the Patriot Act, which made it legal for America to spy on you. People are calling this the Patriot Act on steroids. Bugged out. So, and I think this is the last thing. This is a bipartisan, thing. Both Republicans and Democrats are for it. This bill was sponsored by Lindsey Graham, Tim Kaine, Mitt Romney, Susan Collins, Mike Crapo, and Chuck Grassley. The Republican and the Democrats is Christian, Gillibrand, and Joe Manchin. And they say that Senator Elizabeth Warren supports the bill. She didn't sponsor it. They say she supports it. She's supposed to be a progressive kind of. And it reminds me, this wise man once said that when Republicans and Democrats, when they disagree, that's just Tuesday. It's a regular day. But when they agree, you should be scared. And this is scary territory right here. So, what y'all say? Me, I say nay. Emphatic non cipher. What y'all say? Comment, like, subscribe. Peace, y'all.